My name is Suresh. I'm actually from the School of Business Management here at PSB Academy. I'm here to share with you a bit more about the programs, the universities, the partners that we work with, and why PSB is actually such a great place to do a business qualification. The School of Business Management, we actually have specializations in hospitality, tourism management, logistics, supply chain, marketing, digital marketing, general business, human resource. So it's actually a very diverse field. And the kind of universities we work with as well, we work with universities that are of a certain caliber. So the four partners I actually want to talk to you about. From Australia, you actually have the University of Newcastle, as well as the University of Wollongong. And from the United Kingdom, you actually have Coventry University and Edinburgh Napier University. So firstly, University of Wollongong. University of Wollongong, again, a very, very strong university, ranked 212 in the QS ranking, ACSB accredited, QS 5-star plus. They are actually one of the stronger Australian universities you'd find in the area of business in Singapore. So very recognizable, good ranking, University of Newcastle. So they actually have an office in Singapore. ACSB, the important thing is they are among the top 5% of business schools in the world, which means the lecturers, the quality is going to be higher. They would actually have to have publications actually coming out. So the quality of education that students will actually get with the University of Newcastle is naturally of a higher standard. So if we are looking at business-based undergraduate programs in Singapore, University of Newcastle would actually be one of the top Australian universities you would actually find. Coventry University actually has two campuses. One is in the city of Coventry itself. The other one is in London. And being the School of Business Management, PSB, we definitely work very closely with the London campus. And being UK's top modern university for 7 years in a row, I think that really adds a lot to the value and the kind of education they would get. One thing that Coventry also prides itself on is actually being a very industry-focused university, which means the curriculum coming out, they work very closely with industry, understanding the needs and translating that into actually curriculum that actually happens. With Edinburgh Napier University, Scottish University in the UK itself, very strong in terms of the way they engage with Singapore and the curriculum that we have. They fly their lecturers in, so students actually get a real chance to engage with the same level of education, the kind of context they will actually get over there. Having that international context, they will be able to tell you what is actually happening in Singapore and linking it to the outside world. And I think that is very important when you actually have an international qualification, because you just don't want to hear examples from maybe the UK, from Australia or other countries. You want to be able to understand how maybe tourism, how it actually happens in Singapore within the Singapore context itself. Now, let me introduce to you the specialization of accounting and finance. Who's actually the kind of people who look at this? People who have a flair for numbers. Who would actually excel in such an industry? Somebody who looks at numbers and wants to actually make business decisions. So I think in the past, when people were looking at accounting and finance professionals, they always thought of them as people who balance the books. Pretty much, you do the numbers, you pass it on, somebody else makes the decisions. But I think the way careers and roles have actually evolved and the kind of qualifications that come out, you need people who have very strong financial planning analysis. You need statistics. People have to be very strong in these areas. And when they look at numbers, they actually make strong business decisions, telling people, telling companies where you have to grow, where you have to cut costs. And this is how the roles have evolved. And I think now more than anything, every company, when they are looking at accounting and finance professionals, they are looking for people with specific skills. And these guys become the new rock stars of every company. Okay, and why qualification in marketing, digital marketing? Because digital marketers are really in demand. It's actually one of the fastest growing careers in the world right now. Digital marketing, UX, UI designers, there is so much demand because every industry needs creative individuals, and digitization has actually driven this industry more than ever. Okay, now the specialization, which is logistic and supply chain management. Who should consider this? Somebody who's really interested in how the world really works. And what are some of the skills you need to actually excel in this industry? A keen interest in actually understanding how trade moves across the world. And why logistics and supply chain management? Because trade and e-commerce is bigger and moves faster than ever. Wouldn't you really want to know how something you actually click on a computer when you order it comes all the way from China to your doorstep? That whole series of events and networks of things that actually happen, that's actually what logistics and supply chain management mean. So I think that's a great place, a great qualification for you to actually learn. and why a qualification in hospitality and tourism management. The world is becoming increasingly interconnected, which means you're going to interact with people from diverse backgrounds, both as peers as well as guests that you actually meet. And this will also give you a chance, it's really a gateway to the world. You'll be traveling, you'll actually be meeting people. And because the landscape of tourism is evolving so quickly, a qualification in this area is going to give you a big step if you actually want to be in hospitality and tourism management. Okay, the next specialization is actually media and communication. So who should actually consider this? Somebody who has actually a flair for writing. You really like to understand how when people write copies, there's actually a way they actually have their words around it. So what do you need to actually excel in media and communication? Strong writing skills, interpersonal skills, good research skills. These will be actually very, very important if you actually want to be somebody who can excel in this industry. So why a qualification in this area, in media and communication? Because the world is ever changing. Media has actually become digital media. You would actually see so much information going out there. And who knows, you could be the next broadcast journalist or the next YouTube star. Okay, and finally, why study a business qualification with PSB Academy? PSB is actually an established brand in Singapore with over 50 years in the training and learning and development space. We work with established universities, well-ranked universities from Australia and from the UK. Our industry partnerships are really strong. We actually have industry visits, industry talks, career fairs, and many more for our students to actually engage with people in the real world outside of the classroom. Um, in some of our programs, you'll actually be able to engage with the flying faculty as well. So you would get the same quality of education you would get if any student on campus itself. The opportunity to actually interact with flying students. Some of our students from the home campuses fly into Singapore, into PSB, and this is a great chance if you actually want to know how their experiences are in a different country. So there's a need for business skills in every industry, whether it's accounting, finance, marketing, logistics. You're always going to find a use for this. Whether you are actually doing it in an engineering field, a life science field, or an other field, it will always make a very big difference if you have business skills. Come join us at the School of Business Management in one of our qualifications. I look forward to seeing you there.